Alright, so a slower week of eBay sales, but there were still some sales. So from last week, really have ran out of things to list. Sort of. I do have quite a lot of patches to list that I just don't want to list. I have a lot of just generic patches, Canadian stuff, international ones as well that I don't want to list. That I don't want to deal with, that I have kind of set aside, ready to be bundled off in lots and sold off that way. I do have plenty of that to list. And technically, actually, as I'm looking on my desk, I see I do have some fire stuff that I could list that still needs to be listed. I do have some stuff, so I do have some things that could be listed. I could always have gone back through old listings that have been around a while, do the old end list and end the listing and relist them as well. But I've been kind of just going a little lazy on the new listing side. So, but as you can see, I do have an okay amount of sales. I can close that out. So, last couple things are not sales. And I haven't picked up any inventory either as well, actually. But there is one inventory thing that I'll get to at the end of the sales here. But we're going to start off with this Ketchikan, Alaska fire. Sold out on offer, $359. This Chaplain Emergency Services sold, I want to say it was on offer. That's the only way that would make sense. But $4.99 according to this. And this is going international. And I think that's why, because I had sent out the offer and the buyer accepted, but it was international, so I had to. And this is not, the general listings are not set up to go international, but I was able to change that when I sent him the invoice. So when I sent out the invoice, I could send it for international shipping. So that, and this took a couple days to kind of work it out. So, but he did pay. What was it, yesterday? And I got it packed up. Almost forgot about it because it ended up going kind of far down. Because I kind of just forgot about it being kind of down on the list of sales. Next, Springdale, Arkansas Fire Department sold out on offer, $539. On that one, Fall River, Massachusetts Police, $7.99 on that. Fresno County, California Fire District, $9.99 on that. And I want to say, not long after I had listed this, I seen another one that got listed from someone else, and I think it was cheaper. I've seen that a few times with some of the stuff I've recently listed, where I'm going through and looking in the fire category, and I've seen like, oh, and I go, oh, I recognize that. I have that one, and yours is, I think, listed cheaper than mine. So we'll just have to. It's kind of just wait and see. Who wins, who gets seen first. Next, Chester, Massachusetts Police, $8.99 on that. Wyandanch, whatever. Fire in Long Island. As you can see, I had two of them. Sold the other one, $7.99. No, an offer, $7.19. And the other one, I think I sold last week. New Jersey EMT subdued, only $3.99 in these New Jersey EMT ones. These are not great ones. Next, we have the City of New York Corrections, $7.99 on this. This was, I want to say, selling this, sold or completed the one small lot that I had. There was a couple of small lots that I had where it was like a lot of 5. It had one that I wanted, and then there was the rest of them. This one was called Lancaster because it was a Lancaster police one that I wanted, and there was just the 5 other ones that came with it. So it finally sold. Next, sold another NYPD challenge coin, which is good. And you'll notice the count is off. I took one down because I noticed that this case that it comes in is quite smashed and destroyed. So I kept it. So I just pulled it, and I'll keep it for myself, for my own collection. But $12.99 on that. But after shipping fees, cost of goods, I only make like $3 on these. It was not the greatest buy. This, however, was a good sale. Didn't pay anything for it. It's a portable TV remote. It was something I found in the trash. It was this Trectonic, little portable TV. The TV itself, that was smashed. It was definitely no good. The screen was busted, but it had the remote in the box. I gave the remote the old quick test. Oh, you can't see. I gave it the old quick test. It works just fine. Looked it up, and there's like a couple that have sold and like similar ones. So I figured $15 free ship would fine. And January 11th it sold, and it's now, and it only took 3 weeks to sell, so it was not bad at all. But if you don't know, the trick to testing remotes is you need a camera. And you need put the batteries in it, and then you aim the remote, and at the top, up here at the top where it has like the little bulb, you aim that at your camera lens, and if you see it, and if through the lens, if on the camera, if you see it, see a flash of light, it's working. That was a trick I learned on YouTube. I think from Harry Tornado is where I learned that from. So that's good to know that that is how you can test remotes. That's all I got for remotes. And I've sold a couple. I've had that a few times where I've sold remotes that I found in the trash, and that's how I could test them. And that was it. And there was one time, my grandmother's, the TV remote that came with the TV didn't seem to work, and that I used that trick, and that's how I learned the remote needed replaced, and went on eBay and bought another one. So remotes can be okay. Remotes usually are like 10, I don't know, anywhere between, I'd say like 10 and $20, but free ship. So they're not bad, especially when you get them for free. Next is this Twin Falls, Idaho Fire Department, $4.99 in this. It has the $1.25 shipping, and it shouldn't. That was a mistake. These next two sold together, this Spalding Township in Michigan, and then this Reese Blumfield, also in Michigan. On the Spalding, $7.99 on that, and then on the Reese, $5.99. Those both went together to the same buyer. I think it was in Michigan. Next is this Diamond Security Systems, $3.99 on that. Here's another good one. This Xbox 360, black slim model, $14.39. Powers on, DVD tray works. I think my brother's the one that actually tested it, because it's not the first Xbox that we've actually found. This one in specific I found in a dumpster. This was the hundreds of dollars thrown out video. That's where this Xbox came from. And there was also 2 power supplies. I sold the other one off on its own, and then this one I included with it. And this sold for $59.99 plus $15 shipping. I received a message not that long ago, someone asking me if I would take $40 shipped for it, and they were over in Michigan. Maybe that's not where these two were. Maybe that's where I got the Michigan from. Anyways, they were over in Michigan, and I told them no, I would not take 40 free ship. 60 free ship I'd do, and they never messaged me back or anything. So I just left it alone and let it sit. And this sold, what was it, yesterday? That's when this sold? Last night? And I was starting to think on this, I might need to make a little adjustment. It seems like it's been sitting for a bit. But not really. It didn't really matter because it sold. And I got that sitting downstairs. I got to drop that off at FedEx tomorrow. And if I remember right, the shipping wasn't even 15, it was 13. It was 13 something, so made $1 on shipping. Oh, anyways, after fees and shipping, I made like $50 off this. 50, right? That seems off, but it was around 50. Next is Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department. $4.99 in that. and not rooting for the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, the Eagles. This is who I'm going for. Next, this one's not actually paid for, and I'm starting to think it will not end up being paid for. It's interesting that on both accounts, I have a case of a buyer accepting the offer and not paying for it. So, this car is bad. It was supposed to sell for $539. Buyer's yet to pay. It's been a couple days. I have to check it again and see if I can cancel this order. Next, Marietta, Georgia, fire $399 on that. Next is a Craftsman battery charger, 9.6 volt charger, $24.99 free ship. This sold this morning, and when I checked that it sold, I kind of looked remembered that the mailman had not come yet, so I was able to get this quickly get this packaged up. Not really packaged up. I pre-boxed everything, but I was able to get it finalized, ready to go out, and it went out within an hour of the buyer selling it or buying it. This was something that my brother had. I don't even remember where this came from. And actually, we're kind of cleaning out the basement, and he gave me a couple different, whole bunch of different Craftsman chargers, and a couple and two drills. I got two drills, and what was it, 4 or 5 chargers, and then one was a charger and battery that was for, it's a Craftsman 40 volts. It was for their battery operated. It was ours specifically was the Weed Whacker. We haven't had that in years. We got rid of that years ago after, I don't know, something on it broke. But I tested it. The battery itself is still good, and the charger is still good. So that, and it's worth a pretty penny too. It's worth, I want to say, $80. Because I've seen comps where, like, just the battery where it's about 50, 60. So I figured with the charger I can get, I think actually I have it listed for 90. Or not listed, I have it set up. I want 90 for it. I may turn best offer out on that as well and see what I can get off of it. But I have, like I said, I have a couple more chargers that I need. That I kind of today I was going through taking pictures and looking up comps and that, and kind of waiting to make sure I have boxes to put them all in, and I have the bubble wrap to have them packed up. Now I did order more bubble wrap, which we'll actually get to because that's the last thing that is sold so far. So, like I said, $24.99 free ship. I ran the numbers on it. I don't have it offhand. What I made on this. 15 bucks, I think. The shipping was like 7 something, fees like $3 or $4. Next, you can see listed the 4th, and it sold the 7th now, so not that long ago either, which is good. Alright, so that is it for the sales. I kind of wanted to do an update on this, which I just, when I checked my tracking on it, I do have an update. The seller had sent me a message saying that he dropped this off at the post office. It was meant to go to UPS, and that was a couple days ago, and I just checked the tracking. It's here in Buffalo now, and for days on end, it had no updates to it, so I was wondering where this went. But it's in here in Buffalo. It'll be out for delivery tomorrow, which is good. In case you don't remember, it's got some fire patches in here that I will list myself, and then some things I will just put aside, put it in a lot again, add it to the collection of just patches that I don't want to sell, and those will be sold off all on their own. Also used my quarterly coupon on these 864 boxes. I figured these would be also, the remote would fit well in this. Actually, it'd probably be overkill. Like that charger probably would have fit in here pretty nicely. The box I put it in was not, I wouldn't call it exactly the greatest. And I figured I could use some more of these smaller boxes. I've already gotten the 4x4 boxes, the 8x8 boxes, and I don't remember what the other size is, 10x6 or something? 10x6, something along the lines. Those I've used quite a bit as well. Those probably will be the next boxes that I buy. Oh, and I did get the thank you labels and that. Oh, which I forgot to put the sticker in that box from charger that I just sold. I have to remember to do that. Actually put in the thank you notes and the stickers on them. Kind of forget about it. And then, like I said, I just bought some bubble wrap coming from New York. So, this, I think it should be here, I don't know, a day or two. I think it just shipped. Because that other small roll that I got was not, it's not a lot, and I've pretty much blown through it already. And with these, with all these chargers, I'll absolutely blow through the rest of it. And I got some other things as well. But actually, speaking of which, real quick, while we're on this account, inventory stuff. This guy who I've bought from plenty of times, a lot of stuff from my personal collection, has like 20 something listings of these. Lots of 25, starting bid $50, $5 shipping. He'll combine it all down for me. I've put in my bid on quite a few of these. As you can see, a couple $100 worth, like $200-300 worth when we're all said and done. So this will give me quite a bit of inventory, which is what I was needing. So next we're going to switch over to this account. Alright, we're going to start with this Kennewick, Washington Police, $5.99 in that. I'm going to try and speed through these. New Hampshire Department of Public Safety, State Trooper, yada yada, $5.99. NOPD, $6.99. Idaho State, $3.99. As you can see, the S part was missing on that. West Virginia State Police Aviation Division, $7.99 in that. Memphis, $4.99. Texas Department of Public Safety Narcotics, $6.99. These two sold together, which I kind of figured they would. New Orleans Public Safety, ASM Global, and then SMG, $6.99 each. This Pennsylvania State Trooper, USMC, the Marine Corps, $9.99 in that one. I also had a South Carolina one as well. That was the Marine Corps that I think sold last week. Next, Michigan State, $6.99. I don't even know how to say this. Klawak, Alaska, $6.99 on that. This one, here's the other one that's not paid for. It's Maryland State K9. Sends out the offer for $8.99. Buyer accepted, has not paid, has quite a bit of feedback, so I was kind of surprised that they didn't pay. This again has been a couple days. I have to double check to see if I can cancel this order yet. Next is this South Carolina Highway Patrol. This sold out on offer $3.59. Blue Ash, Ohio, $7.99 in this. This was one of the few individual ones from the one massive lot that I got from Canada, from that Canadian seller. These next two sold together as they kind of make sense that they would. It was two Boston Police with the Super Bowl champs of the Patriots from 2015 and 2017. $12.99 each on these. And these went shipped out first class. What was it yesterday? Next, Spring Creek Lieutenant, Department of Public Safety. As you can see, I have the quantity set at 10, but I actually have 36 of them. This was, again, something from that massive lot that luckily one of them have finally sold it for $7.99. Next, just a generic Boston Police, $5.99, which actually I think these normally go for about $3, but I paid, or $3.99, but I paid $3 a piece for these, so I needed to list it higher, and someone still took it. Chicago, $4.99, and then the last one, I don't quite think it's the last one. I think it should be more in the beginning, with this Lincoln County Sheriff's, $7.99 on that. So that is that on everything that I sold between the two accounts. Some inventory pickups, and then I seen a Resale CNY's video today about kind of going over their numbers of what they've made. I have yet to go through the numbers and see exactly what I've done for last year, and now's the time to do it as it's tax time. But it seems like eBay's not going to give me a 1099K form, which is kind of a problem because I need to report that income And because I don't have the form to do it, I have to do it manually, which is not really a big deal, as every month I do a profit and loss. I do go through all my payouts and all my expenses, and I do calculate out if I made money for that month. And then from that, I do put money aside for taxes. I did remember to do that, so I do have some money set aside for taxes. But I know, like, some months I made a couple $100, other months I didn't. Like, what was it? February, it was $233, and if I look at March, it was $16. So I do have to go through and manually figure out how much money I made gross, and then figure out what I did after expenses, and I will have to see about doing that with how that's going to work when I file my taxes. I'm waiting on some investment paperwork to actually finish my taxes anyway, so it's not. And I was kind of waiting as well, kind of here into February, to see if eBay is going to give me my 1099K form. But I'm pretty sure I do remember reading an email that they weren't going to send it because I didn't qualify, because they had worked, or there was some delay with the IRS in implementing this new over $600 reporting. I think it had been pushed back till next year, so that's why I think I am going to have to manually do this myself, because I know Uncle Sam wants his cut. So I'll have to work that out the next couple of weeks. But other than that, that is it for this week, and I will see you next week.